Welcome everybody, I'm here in Ljubljana in Slovenia in front of the train station, and I have now had the journey to Vienna, back to Vienna. I have to go about 2 hours to Maribor, and then I have one train to go to Spielfeld, to the Austrian border. Then I have a local train to go to Graz, and then I will be going to Vienna back. Yeah, it's 3 times changing. It takes 6 hours about for a direction where you have a bit less than 400 kilometers, and in the car you can take it in 4 hours. Yeah. In European terms, I think 400 kilometers should be reached in about by train, by modern European train, in about 2.5 hours, let's say. Linz-Vienna, it's about 170 kilometers. I can do that now in 1 hour 20 in Austria. And in Germany, the trains are even much faster, and in France, they are even much faster. And we are basically in 2023. And here, this beautiful building is left over from the Austrian-Hungarian monarchy. Beautiful building. There are trains left over from Yugoslavia inside. There are some tracks from Austrian monarchy. And there is some new trains because they got money to buy some trains. Yeah. And this is the status quo. I have my Klima ticket. You know, I call for European Klima ticket. But the question is, when we don't have efficient public transport, it's actually much faster to use Flixbus than to go by train east of Vienna, and it's a bit of a disgrace. And since 25 years I'm campaigning that we need to pay for the infrastructure in Eastern Europe, because these countries, first of all, need, of course, there's so many things to catch up after communism, so little infrastructure left from the monarchy, from Yugoslavia, from Eastern Bloc times, yeah. And how to pay for all this. Of course it must be done. Of course, in America, the United States of America funds infrastructure in the west of America after the unification. Of course, this must be done by the richer taxpayers of western coast, of eastern coast, of Texas. Of course, national infrastructure must be paid by everybody. Of course, we are a union. And of course, we need Eurobonds. And of course, it makes no sense in 2023 to have this level of infrastructure. Of course, you can renovate it, nothing against old buildings. But all the train stations in Austria are now modernized, even better than Germany. We have competition on our railways because we are in the EU, Slovenia as well. So we can build a tunnel from Italy to Germany for whatever, 15 billion or whatever the Brenner Passes tunnel costs. And here in this beautiful country, south of the Alps, very sunny, very beautiful. The infrastructure connectivity from Villach to Ljubljana is, there is some, because Germany to Zagreb, there is some. I was waiting, I missed the train at 12 o'clock, I got it back then at 5 o'clock. 5 hours, no train from Villach to Klagenfurt in the afternoon. Okay, you can say, who cares for Slovenia? But when we are a European Union, when we say we are united, and when we say it matters, unity and solidarity, when we say the climate matters, and when we say public transport matters, and when we say we need to get things going, there is some movement here for the parking. And when all this we say, in theory in Brussels and in Berlin and in Vienna, and then we have infrastructure connectivity east of Austria, like Mrs. Gewessler doesn't want to have the new runway for the airport, doesn't want to have new railways, new highways, nothing, no tunnels, everything, no, and then she says, but we will build the railway infrastructure. And then the reality is so disgusting and shockingly bad. And I now will go to Prague on the next weekend. I go now from Ljubljana to Prague to check these things out. And I will be surprised how that works. That's maybe a bit better. Of course, Central Europe is a bit richer than Southern Europe. South of the Alps, we neglected even in Austria. The train from Vienna to Graz is much worse than to Linz. There's no competition. There's these old trains from the 90s. There is much lower tracks. And we have been not able. Now what we now do is Graz to Klagenfurt. And that's probably the least necessary one. Because we have to build infrastructure from European perspective. Where are the big movements of goods? Where are the big movements of... Yesterday, I tried to get the bus from Villach, because Flixbus has I checked on Google Map. Flixbus is there. You can try. And I have to go into hiding because there's a bus station like here. And there is a lot of bus traffic from Flixbus going. That's actually the bus station. So we have this bus traffic. And what is happening? It's full to Plovdiv. So from Germany to Bulgaria via bus, perfect, full capacity, maximum capacity. The buses are full, yeah. Even when they are quite expensive actually, yeah. And they are full. But the train from Germany to Plovdiv, has anybody thought about that one? Yes, 150 years ago we were able to think about that one. But today, no, because Germany doesn't want to pay for railway infrastructure in Bulgaria or Romania or Serbia or whatever. And here we are again. Here we are again. Because we are not united enough, we are failing. We are failing Europe, we are failing our prosperity, we are failing the Eastern Europeans, we are failing strategically because, as Ben Hodges has outlined, and me as well, we need, of course, the transport infrastructure east-west. We need to supply Ukraine. We need to get the things out of Ukraine. We need to connect via Turkey towards, of course, the Caucasus. We need to bypass Russia and Iran. We need to make more infrastructure connectivity towards China and Japan and Korea and ASEAN and India and all these things we need to do. But we are not doing it because we are thinking like the small changing guy. But peanuts. We have a situation, this is so embarrassing. And then we say, no European debts, no European infrastructure funding for Eastern Europe. We offer the ASEAN country 10 billion. They are rich enough, they can build the infrastructure, that's very nice, but we don't offer them a free trade agreement. And for 10 billions you could build a lot of railways in Slovenia and in Croatia and in Bosnia. And guys, you are really disappointing me. Yes. This is the situation. I'm very disappointed by the reality I see now back here in Central Europe after my years in Ukraine and the Balkans. There's better railway infrastructure in Ukraine than in the ex-K&K monarchy here in Central Europe, and that's very disappointing, my friends. 2023, this is for infrastructure. What we need to do, I call again, EU-funded, Eurobond-funded railway connectivity infrastructure, energy, ports, and of course highways. All these things must be paid by the European Union and built. We need now a reconstruction, a reconnectivity, Reconnect Ukraine and the Balkans initiative, funded by the European Union for the next 20 years, a major drive, like we have done it with Eastern Germany. Now the whole of Eastern Europe between Russia and Turkey must be reconnected to the European Union with modern infrastructure paid by the European Union via Eurobonds. In energy, in gas, in, of course, digital, in motorways, yes, Mrs. Gewessler, in motorways, and of course also in fast-speed passenger rail and in efficient Europeanized rail infrastructure for the goods. And it must be, of course, on competitive basis, the operation, but the company for infrastructure must be Europeanized, means owned by the European Union, European Railway Infrastructure Incorporated, SE, owned by and funded by the European Union, owned by the EIB. That is what we need, and we need it fast. And of course, EU climate ticket for all this transport to be available on an efficient basis for the consumers who want to move from Plovdiv to Frankfurt and of course from Ljubljana to Vienna, where I'm now going, and I will keep you posted. Thanks a lot again, and please, let's be more united, let's be better than this, and let's build the infrastructure which is important for our prosperity, connectivity, and for our rights as citizens, and for our safety, as we have seen now in Greece. People die because of our lack of unity. Shame all those responsible for not Europeanizing our railway infrastructure in the last decade, and shame them very hard. And let's do it now. As a consequence, we will save life, we will be much richer, we will be much better connected, which is a right, for, I think, for citizens to have a decent infrastructure, and we will be much more European, and we will win the challenge of all authoritarians by better services for our people with better mobility, which is safe, secure, fast, efficient, and decently organized. That's, I think, what modern European statehood should be about. Thanks a lot. All the best. Bye.